Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Rhett and Idra here on Python 1.3. This is a Gosu Gamers replay sent to me by Lazaros, a wonderful human being who provided me with many excellent Brood War replays for my enjoyment and yours as well. Top side of Python, it is the red Zerg player, Rhett. And in the bottom leftish corner, well, bottom southern section, it is the blue Terran player, Idra. Alright, man. So it's Idra here on Python. We've played on this map before. It kind of has a snake in the middle, which is why it's called Python. See his eyes and his mouth down here. He's a Python. He is a long boy for sure. But, yes, this is what this is. Now, you do have your natural base. Fairly wide open thing to wall off here if you happen to be a Terran player. Can't be pleased about that. You have a bases in the bottom right to hold. Huge ramps leading into there. You also have Scantids, a hallucinated Scantid. Ah! He's gone! The hallucinated Scantin disappeared on me, but I saw him. I saw him for a second there. Anyway, other bases, the top left here that do happen to have gas. You can't quite see it through the thing, but that's a Vespene geyser up there. There are a couple smaller bases that are minerals only 2 of those, and little pocket expands that effectively function as islands because you cannot walk there, you must fly down there. So we'll see if this comes into play or not. But before we forget, let's turn the Fog of War back on because I totally and completely and utterly forgot to do that. With the Perfect Man versus Jadon game from Saturday, I apologize profusely. There are a few comments berating me for forgetting to do that, but it's back. Fog of War is back. And like I said, I don't know exactly why it's so important, but if I don't do it, people get mad. People get real mad at me. So it's fine. It's fine. I remembered. We're good. I'm happy to do it for you guys. Not a problem. Now, no. Rhett went for the hatch first play. What is this drone doing? Is he going for a 3 hatch before pool play? Or is this just a scouter? This might just be a scouter heading on down to the south. Not a command center first, out of Idra by any stretch whatsoever. But again, this is Idra. He's a chatty player. He's known for his rage. I don't know if he does what he's known for in this particular replay, but we'll keep an eye on that chat log at the same time. Yeah, this drone is just scouting. I was like, dang! You can go 3 hatch before a pool in a ZVT, man. That seems like a horrible idea. Especially since already Marines are on the way from Idra. So cruising on in with the drone. I love the drone scout. Have I mentioned how much I really enjoy drone scouting here? Just fantastic. Sure, you might get killed by this Marine, but you also scout on in and see what's up. You see no gas. You see no expansion quite yet. You can also escape from the Marine because you're really zippy, much faster than the Marines are. Which is good, because Marines have range and hit like trucks. And if they had the same speed as you, you would die. Hatchery coming up. Macro hatch here at the top of the ramp. So this feels, my goodness, this feels like a more recent replay, but all of the Idra and Rhett replays that I've cast have been like 10, 15 years old. So I don't know what to make of this. I really don't know exactly what to make of this particular thing happening. Perhaps this macro style is a little bit older than I expected it to be. I feel like it was, I don't know, 2012, 2011 or so, but I'm totally, completely, and utterly wrong on that. I could be that and not be surprised, even the teeniest or tiniest of bits. Anywho, there's your gas, there's your expansion. Idra's doing pretty darn standard stuff, following up with another barracks here, so definitely some early bio play, which can be extremely viable versus Zerg, as we've seen players such as Flash handle Zerg players with bio, with science vessels, with tanks and firebats and medics and all sorts of cool stuff. At the same time, mech is also very good. We've seen players go mech against Zerg, and Zerg just seem helpless against it. So, it seems like the longer the game goes on, the mech just becomes insurmountable. I don't know. I don't know if it's a situation where the Zerg player just needs to kill the Terran player before they get up 40 tanks. It seems viable. I don't know. Is it viable? Who knows? There's not going to be a balance patch for StarCraft Brood War ever again, so I feel like we should figure this out, guys. This should be something that is worked upon all the time. So we're still 2 basing it. That's your second gas. And where is your lair? There's your lair. So the SCV scouts it and says, aha! Mutalisks. Mutalisks. We will go ahead and prepare for the Mutalisks quite quickly. I don't know why the SCV has a weird accent, but it does. It does manage to report back home. I assume there's a little radio in there, right? In the helmet of the SCV. Everything they see is instantly transmitted back home, even if they see it for just a second before they die. Because otherwise, scouting would not make any sense. All right, man. Link's cruising on down. There's really not much to do here. Another SCV coming for the scout. I am really impressed by both players' devotion to scouting here. Idra sending another SCV up when the first one got killed. These Marines are ready to rock against this handful of Zerglings that are just they're just parked outside. Don't mind us. We're just parked right outside. In case anybody tries to come up here, we'll shut them down like this SCV. Metabolic boost is done. Speedlings are here, but they let the SCV go because Morlings are here. They let him go too. They're like, you know what? We don't care if we get scouted. Come on in. See what's up, man. There's really nothing to see there, obviously. Nothing has changed, but where is our spire? Ah, there it is. There's a spire now. Just kidding. There is new information. So, Rhett, it looks like he's putting up a lot of pressure, potential pressure here. I don't know, man. That is a lot of Marines. That is a lot of medics. Is stim done? +1 attack is on the way. Do we get a stim? We do! We get a stim here. I'm going to chase those lings away. No problem whatsoever. So definitely a 2-base spire play. 3rd base coming up behind it, though. Rhett is smart enough to make sure that happens. Rhett is one of the old great American players. Idra, too. One of the great Americans known in the histories of Brood War as foreigners who are good at Brood War. Spire just about done. There's enough gas here for about 8 or 9 mutas. And I'm going to start with 3. How's that sound? Start with 6. How's that sound? Even better, Zerg players say. Let's make as many mutas as we can here with all the gas that we have. 7 seems like a pretty decent number. And then just play the game of how many Marines can we kill before our mutas get too injured to continue the game. It's an exciting, fun game for everybody, really. And yep, Overlord says, oh, look at this beautiful, beautiful base back here. It is so wonderful. It's open to being dropped, though, is the problem. Although if you have mutas, drops aren't as big of a problem as you have the air control that you need to make that shut down. Wow, 4 more Mutalisks on the way. How many do we have? So we've got the 7 with 4 more in production. This is a bigger Mutaflock than I was expecting, but the timing here lets Idra know that, hey, this is going to be a bigger Mutaflock than I was expecting, man. Where are the turrets? Yeah, additional turrets on the way. 3 up, another one coming up inside the main base. Turret, bunker, and another turret at the natural. And here come the Mutalisks. Wow, 2 turrets up there, too. I like how Idra is prepared for this. He really is. Marines fighting, and the Muta's not quite sure what they want to do. They lose a Muta just through indecision there. Just sheer indecision. Another Muta goes down for a medic, and I think those are some decent trades for Idra. 2 Mutalisks for a Marine and a medic. Yes. Let's keep that Mutaflock as small as possible. Thank you very much. Muta's flying in, taking more shots. SCV's getting picked off here, too. Marines getting picked off, but God, the missile turret hits are really damaging to these guys. A lot of them are purple. Some of them are extremely healthy, which is nice. But behind it, Red has managed to get his 3rd base. He's got a lot of gas coming in there, and he's going for a lurker aspect. So a lurker follow-up can be pretty darn great, especially if your opponent has a lot of bio, as bio does not generally fare very well versus those lurker spines. They do splash damage, which if you have splash versus bio, that's the key. That's what Storm is for, right? That's what tanks are for. Just anything that does damage to a lot of literally clumped up units here is going to be your friend if your opponent has a lot of Marines and medics, especially Firebats too, but don't see any of those guys yet. Firebats are kind of it's a personal preference setup, right? C players get Firebats against an opponent that has a lot of Zerglings, but at the same time, Firebats aren't as good against things like Lurkers, so you don't want to overcommit, you know what I mean? Yuta's getting right on in here and picking up all 3 of the SCVs on gas. Let's see how long it takes Idra to replace those. Replacing them immediately. What a great player. What a great player he is. And was. And getting chased away. More missile turrets happening there. Did you guys watch the Pylon show? Pylon show's got Artosis in control. They do a weekly show. Weekly show? How often is it? By golly, I don't even know. But it's fairly frequent. And they bring on a lot of guests. StarCraft 2 guests. Brood War guests. And for April Fools this year, they announced they were getting both Tasteless and Idra to come on the show and talk about Brood War. And I was like, that's insane. How did they get Idra on? And it was April Fool's joke, obviously, because that's when they posted the announcement. But anyway, it would be incredible. Artosa still plays a ton of Brood War, you guys, and still makes him as salty as ever. Love him, though. Great player. Really just a huge part of the Brood War scene for many, many years, and still casting, still doing an incredible job of it. Queen's Nest there, or Radiation coming in, just, you know, standard moving into late game stuff. And we are bio-tanking it. This is definitely not a mech strategy out of Idra. He's got the 1 factory. That is not enough to be mech. Traditionally, a Ret, I feel like, could probably expand behind this, maybe get a 4th. Really has Idra pinned on these 2 bases right now, but About to move out. Marine tank science vessel. Pretty fantastic. Oh, the science vessel goes down. Ouch. Ouch. Didn't even get her irradiate off. I don't know if it had enough energy for an irradiate, but that was a massive victory for Rhett. SCV trying to come in and scout. Oh, there's a third base here. Oh, it's fully saturated. Oh. I was not aware this was a thing that was happening. I had suspicions, but I didn't know until just now. So thanks a lot. Muta's doing more stuff. In trouble, though. Reverse course. Reverse course. Fly out your traditional exit location. Only 6 remaining. What were there? 9 or 10 at some point? It was a big, big number for sure. But really, the key here is that Idra has been kept entirely on 2 bases for quite some time now, and Rhett's been on 3. I think Idra needs to move out. So he's detecting this million lurkers that are set up. The tanks clear 2 of them out pretty quickly, and then Rhett has to retreat from that location because, you know, tanks. Because tanks. I'd love to see some fire bats versus these Zerglings over there. They're very scary. They have +1 armor. The Marines have +1 attack. Nice irradiate. There we go. Split them off. Split them off. Split them off. Oh, gosh. Several mutos die there. And by several, I mean probably 3, but still hurts. Pretty decent irradiate there. Worth it. And by the way, the science vessel is alive this time. Look at that Zergling trying to kill stuff. Silly Zergling. Killing stuff is not for you. Not when the entire Terran army is here. It's not going to happen, dude. So cruising up to the right to try to take down this third. There are lurkers on the high ground, and with tank support you can shut that down, but Bio does not want to walk up this at all. Is Rhett going to go for the counterattack? Idra looks like he might want to pull back here, but yeah, running right on top. No Dark Swarm, no nothing. Just absolutely cruising on in here with lurkers, with Zerglings trying to take down the tanks. The tanks are gone. The lurkers are doing tons of damage. Bunker's getting shot at too, but a lot of lurkers are dying at the same time. Oh, what a huge hit by that lurker. One of these lurkers has a ton of kills. 4 kills on that guy. Doesn't manage to escape, but his buddy does manage to get out of there. So army comes back to defend, and really, the key here is this base did not die. Sure, the defenses died, but the base didn't die. And I think Idra came out on top on that engagement for sure. But it's going to be Defiler time. Next one of those attacks is going to have Dark Swarm, which is a lot harder to deal with, as it turns out. Consume coming in. Adrenal Glands, almost done. Adrenal Glands with, dang, +1 Carapace and no attack upgrades at all for these Lings. They are the least upgraded Cracklings I've ever seen, I think, on the channel. Which is fine. I mean, you don't need to have crazy upgrades to be Cracklings, but still. Irradiate, getting tossed down on these lurkers. Yep, we're going to try to kill them slowly in the ground. Setting up for... Is that a base? No, it certainly isn't. All the lurkers are down. Nidus Canal here to defend a little bit. Adrenal Glands, man. That attack speed really, really matters. Nidus Canal done. No more reinforcements for you. And it looks like the third base is going to go down. Ah, the attack from the backside, though. All the tanks died. And now all the Marines are going to die. As a result, nicely done by Idra. But Rhett shuts it down before any of his drones go down. How many drones do you think died there? 1, maybe? Maybe not even 1. Amazing. Amazing stuff for sure. So, did he expand behind that is the question. He's trying. He's trying to take this bottom right-hand base. This Overlord is scouting it. So, Idra's building the command center up here out of range of that vision. Once again, a lot of lurkers out on the field right now. 105 to 92 supply. Idra has a bit of a lead, but needs that third base ASAP. Irradiate on a couple of those lurkers. Zerglings cruising on in. Blah, 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 blah. And Scourge actually not doing pretty well for themselves. There are too many Marines on the ground. Oh, the lurkers, though. That is a weird spot for lurkers, man. Who expects them there? And Idra's forced to get out, but the surprise flank attack. You can't retreat because there are lurkers the other way. Everybody dead. Yikes. That was brutal. That was a nice engagement by Rhett without question. Getting a 4th base now down the right side. 3rd base technically able to complete here. Idra macroing pretty hard. He still leads in overall supply, 101 to 90. Nice irradiates. He's got a pretty big group of science vessels. That is kind of the scary thing here. But Dark Swarm is up. A lot of fire bats in the mix, but then the lurkers come in and the fire bats are like, yeep, yeep. That's the sound they make. I mean, they look tough and they sound like this. But, oh, nice hits, fire bats. But when a lurker shows up and inside a Dark Swarm, they see it run in, and then it burrows, and they go, yeep. That's exactly the sound they make. I know, because I've been there. All right, so fourth or third base rather. God, should be a fourth. It's 15 minutes in. But Idra getting a third base down on this right side. Still up 121 to 94 supply. He's making some good trades. Some of the times his army gets wiped out, but other times he is killing more than he's losing for sure. Science Vessels leading the pack a little bit. Oh my gosh, the Scourge count. Yeah, there are no Scourge on the left side, right? Say the Science Vessels as they cruise away. Consume, Plague is now on the way. Oh my gosh, there are so many Scourge, but look at Idra keeping these Science Vessels alive. Doing a pretty good job of it, considering I feel like there are like 20 Scourge in this guy. It's not great. This is what it is. Nice Irradiate on that Defiler just to kill it straight up. I mean, not even, maybe like a quick Consume and a Dark Swarm just for old time's sake. Nah. Nah, not gonna happen. This is not much of a defense on this third base, by the way. It really, that's why the army is sitting here. Ah, got plagued. Massive plague. Ooh. From a Defiler that came maybe out of nowhere. I don't know where that came from, because the only Defiler that I've seen recently got irradiated and murdered before it had time to throw down a plague, mind you. So the medics are operating on a little bit of overdrive here, but you know what? Everybody's kind of back up to full health. What the what? Nicely done. Also, the Science Vessels, okay, caught some serious hits, but there's only one Scourge there, not enough to kill a full health Science Vessel at all. Wow, are we transitioning? Hold on. Man, these Zerglings are brutal. +2 Carapace and ye old adrenal glands. He's going Vultures, but he's not. And Vulture speed, but I don't think he's transitioning into mech here, as he's going also for additional upgrades for his infantry. Nice Plague again. Catching everybody here, really draining the medics of their energy. You got to keep them moving in that case. But fifth base attempted up here by Rhett. That's going to get shut down pretty darn instantly. Cancel it. You got to cancel the base. You're not saving it. And there's the cancel. All right, that was close. That was close, but Rhett knows what he's doing. Another Irradiate on a Defiler, trying to cruise up and throw down, what, another Plague possibly? Nice Plague. Actually, not as good as it was otherwise. Oh my gosh, the Overlord store in the top left. All the Overlords. Rhett's been sending up here for safety, but they are not safe. They are not safe at all. Not supply blocked either, by the way. Rhett is not supply blocked in the least bit. But he's close, and he wishes he wasn't as close as he was. Man, this Science Vessel group is so big. Spending their energy pretty well, too. What's even under that Dark Swarm? A Lurker is under that Dark Swarm right now. Where'd all those Scourge go that were cruising around earlier? I guess they're just in little pairs in different locations, aren't they? Trying to take down a couple dropships, which have a bunch of Marines in them. Oh, gosh, that one has all the Marines in it! Okay, didn't go after the empty one. Definitely not. That was just bad luck from Idra for sure. But look at Idra, 153 to 111 supply. He's just out-macroing Rhett right now. He is out-macroing like crazy. He's gotten plagued in the face several times. Vulture goes down. I don't even know, like, why he got Vulture speed. He hasn't been going for a ton of Vultures by any stretch. Marines fighting inside the mineral line, not going to be enough. A lot of SCVs are going to die here. This is a big problem for Idra. Economically, he cannot afford to lose all of the SCVs in this base. Adrenal gland lings are the bane of the existence here. So some of the SCVs get saved. I mean, if the lings had additional attack upgrades, they'd be scarier, but check it out. It's Ultras, and they have additional attack upgrades. That means everybody does, by the way. Yep, the lings are down to +1 attack. But Ultralisk's cruising on in. It's going to irradiate. Oh, Science Vessel's going down. Irradiate on every one of the Ultralisks. But the Plague Science Vessel, the Muta's coming in for assists there too. Irradiate on the Mutalisks. The Ultras do not do as well when they're being irradiated. Keep in mind, they still hit pretty hard, and they do damage to enemies when they're irradiated too. So they're pretty scary. Another Plague on these Science Vessels, but there are no Mutas around here either. So the Ultras go down. Fantastic play there from Idra. Working on additional Zerglings, a handful of Ultras going for speed for those guys too. Tank production resuming for Idra. I haven't seen tanks for a while. Just really trying to bio this play. Which, hard to do. I'm just going to say it's hard to do with only bio versus these Ultras. Even if you can irradiate them consistently, which he's been doing in fairness. Dude, you can't take... You can't hang out in another Dark Swarm. There you go. Get out. And the Ultras are out. So, I mean, you basically irradiate them, wait for the damage to be done, and then kite them as much as you can. This guy, irradiating, it should wear off before he dies, based on the math we've done previously. And, boy, it hurts him, though. Boy, is he down to less than 200 HP. Hey, guy, there you are, 160 HP when all is said and done. Still 156 to 111 supply. Idra on 3 bases, Rhett's on 4. And Rhett trying to double expand here at the same time. Nice plague. The Lings and the Mutas are cruising on in. Science Vessels taking some serious hits here. Couple of them are 1 hit away from going down. Fire Bats, even Plagued Fire Bats, trying to do stuff against those Lings. All the Lings die, but guess what? More Scourge. More Lings, more Ultras coming on in here, but handling it. Handling it despite the fact that they're plagued and extremely injured. Right now, Scourge getting picked off. Prioritized targeting there from Idra. Like a boss, and I just kind of feel like Idra has been on a bit of a back foot this entire game, but he is making trades. He is staying up 50 supply, 40 supply on Rhett here. Despite the fact that Rhett is one of the better macro players on Earth, and despite the fact that Rhett is continuing to throw Zerg armies at him over and over again. More Ultras in play. Oh, the irradiates. When you get irradiated, you almost just have to A-move. The longer you wait, the worse it's going to be for you. Man, look at the tanks now. That's what I'm talking about. Tank versus irradiate is pretty fantastic. 1 tank goes down, but all the Ultras get wiped out there. Meanwhile, attempting to expand down the left side, a drop of Idras. I think the drop was heading up to the top left. And accidentally scouted it, but they're going to get a hatch. No problemo. And you know what? Rhett might just lose his 4th base here, too. Look at this setup. Look at this contain. Look at these tanks. They don't have any upgrades at all. They're pretty great against Sunkens, nevertheless. Okay, so top left, there's a drop here. There's nothing in that drop ship, mind you. But there's a Marine back there. Oh, there's a Marine under the drop ship. Sneaky, sneaky play, but he dead. He certainly is, but guess what else is dead? Rhett's 4th base. Man, there's a lot of lurkers here, though. Where's your detection? Where's your scan? Ow! Ow, ow, ow. That is a problem with Brood War. Sometimes maybe you aren't as tactical as you normally are, and you don't realize there are lurkers down here, and your detection's a little bit further away, and you're impatient. And you move in, and then everything dies. But guess what's here? Drop in the top left. 5th base. In a lot of trouble here. This one lurker's been doing work, though. 7 kills on him. My gosh, is he going to defend this entire base by himself? I feel like he is. 4th base taking some serious hits, but Zerg sneaking around the backside. I see you over there. Can you save the 4th base? I don't think you can. That hatchery is down to like 0 HP. But if the Zerg... Oh my gosh. Plague Dark Swarm. Okay, the hatch is going to live just by sheer virtue of this. Hatchery, 28 HP. This hatchery's down, though. Did the Marines finally get it? The lurker was not in range to kill everybody. So that hatch goes down. This one really just like drop a Marine on it. I think you can take it down pretty easily. This drop doing work. 4 Marines in there, and that's it. But check this out. Natural base. Undefended, except for the 1 Ultra running up, in which case, run. Look at this. Look at this hatchery. You can't even see how much health it has because this egg is covering a lot of it. A lot of that health bar. Meanwhile, Idra has managed to take a 4th base. It's a mineral-only base, but you know what? When you're making 7 Marines at a time, minerals are pretty great. You can live with that. Upgrades on these dudes. 3-3. Tanks still 0-0. Zerglings up to 3-2. And no additional upgrades will be forthcoming. That +3 attack I feel like would be pretty nice, but anyway. Oh no, the Zerglings found the 4th. Here they come. And I was like, where are they? Ah yes, here they are. More SCVs gonna die. Oh, actually, you know what? Pretty decent response here from the Marine team. Dude, seriously, send like a Marine. Oh, everybody got plagued and wiped out again. Rhett! It's a suicide attack, the hatchery, but there are lurkers! Oh my gosh, Rhett saved his hatch. That was amazing. Some Ultras come down, they get wiped out at the 4th base. Idra needs to re-land that base if at all necessary. If at all possible. Where are the Mutas? I saw the Mutas chasing down. More Zerglings here too. Rhett has replanted his top left base. His fourth base is alive right now. I don't even... Man, Rhett, he's just been playing down this entire game. This one Ultralisk has a couple kills, but getting surrounded by a ton of Marines is not what you want. At least not with Plague support or Dark Swarm support, you know? You know what I'm talking about, Vern? Is this medevac going home finally? It's been up there for like 5 minutes. It's time to go home. Guess who's in the third base, though? A million Zerglings! Man alive, Idra's been up for so much of this game. But Rhett's just been going Ling Ultra at him consistently here. And making it work, mind you. There are Zerglings all over the map. There are little pieces of red running into the natural base now. I'm not sure they're going to do anything, mind you, because of the sheer number of Terran that is here with full upgrades. So that Ultra going to take a lot of stuff with him, but he's out. However, the third base is toast. The fourth base is back and running, so kudos to Idra for making that happen. However, retaking the base on the left side is Idra, or Rhett rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base. But his third base is done. He needs to send... Okay, this hatchery needs to die. Idra has decided this hatchery needs to die. Make it happen, dude. Oh, Ultras showed up at the fourth. Just tank fire it. There we go. The hatchery finally dies. That Muta got a couple Science special kills before it went down, which is kind of hilarious. Additional Ultras cruising on into the natural base after shutting down the fourth. They get rebuffed by a single bunker of fully upgraded Marines, mind you. But Rhett has a couple additional bases. I'm not sure that he cares about that fourth all that much. However, getting the third base would be pretty big. That Ultra could have escaped probably. Well, probably would have died to irradiation, so might as well come back and kill what you can, man. Another Plague gets tossed down on these guys. Jeez, the Plague consistently has been insane for Rhett. Muta's coming in on top of the Science Vessels. Ultras coming on. Too many Ultras in production. Defensive Matrix going down on this Marine. He's leading the charge. He has exactly 3 HP and a Defensive Matrix protecting him. Is Idra... Wow. Idra's kind of doing stuff, you guys. He's been up. It just feels like he's been down, but he's been up in supply this entire game. Is this a drop? Is this a legit drop? Is that one drop ship? I don't even know anymore. Science Vessel protected Marine is here. His HP is back. His confidence is back. And the third base is going to go down. But guess what? The fourth base is a ghost yard again. A ghost yard? A graveyard. Again, of just dead SCVs all over the place. Heard the Lings get killed, but this mining got interrupted once again. Is that another hatch? Rhett is just expanding so much. He is expanding like Zergs should do. He's really keeping this pocket expand in reserve. So is Idra, by the way. Or maybe it's just too unsafe to take, which is what it feels like. But man, anytime there are this many Science Vessels cruising around, just irradiating everything they can see, it's a bad thing for Zerg. Ling's trying to cruise in. A couple of them get in the mineral line at the same time. These Lings all die. But these guys hammer away. Do finally get wiped out. Where are my Zerglings at? They still don't have the +3 attack, mind you. Rhett has no interest in doing that. Also, Idra has no interest in clearing out these Zerglings to get his third base back. I don't know why. I guess he is fairly happy. Where is my... There it is. There's my APM checker and resources and everything at the top left. Another base goes down. Unfortunately for Rhett, this one finished before it goes down, which means he doesn't get a refund on it. He doesn't have the resources to build another one. Every one of the Science Vessels got plagued, though. Every single one of them is red as a Christmas tree ornament. Also the fourth base. Once again, what else is new is a car fire for Idra. So that's bad. However, Rhett gonna lose another base. I just don't know that he can save it. Yeah, man, this game has been absolutely bonkers. It's been insane. I still don't know who to call here. We're 30 minutes in, and it's been so much stupid back and forth. Look at these 0, 1 HP. Oh, the sport. One spore. One spore. Oh, is that a Muta? It is. the science vessel count a lot lower than it used to be, I can tell you that much. Another plague, another dark swarm. Oh, where are the fire bats at? There's your fire bat. All right, so the tank is gone. Whoa! And Idra taps out. Hold your horses. I mean, all right, fine. Never mind. In fairness, Idra never retook the third. The fourth base is out. His bank is 3 minerals. And this is pretty much all he has here, is this handful of Marines and medics. His science vessel count is abysmal. Down to 4 now. A lot of medics, but not much to heal. And yeah, sure, he killed some bases. That was fantastic by him. He killed this base, and this base, and this base once, and this base once, and this base. But he just never... He really, really needed to come down here and retake this third. I don't know if he didn't feel like he could hold it or what, but man, Rhett was everywhere that game. Resources lost and units produced are going to be insane for Rhett. Just without question. So GG, Idra, no rage. Sorry to disappoint those of you who clicked on this looking for Idra rage, but he just couldn't quite pull it off here versus Rhett. Rhett's macro was too strong. Never let Idra alone at any stage. And ended up getting the win. So really great game, though. I mean, so much irradiation, so much plague. This is the most plagues I think I've seen in a ZVT ever on my channel. A lot of science vessels, obviously. Got some dark swarms all over the place. I mean, Rhett wasn't married to the dark swarm. If he was able to send some lings and ultras in and take down a base without dark swarm support, he would do it. But yeah, the bio play, the bio tank play, not as easy as Flash makes it look, as it turns out. So 2 kills on him, 7 kills on him. Zergling's doing some work there too. And yeah, great job. Great job here by both players. But in the end, Rhett gets the GG. Well done. Well done, Zerg player Rhett. Final scores. Rhett produced 759 units. Idra killed 559 of them. That remains 200 units. 200 supply with a unit, or units total, right? Worth of units. Is this, I just realized, I don't know. Is this supply or is this units produced? Because the implication here is that Rhett had 200 supply of units at the end of the game, or 200 total units at the end of the game, which I guess with Zerglings could work. Yeah, fine. I guess with Zerglings it makes sense. But lost 618 of them, which I guess some of this is friendly fire, some of this is consume. Righto then. Structures raised. 11 by Idra. Only 3 by Rhett. That's kind of surprising. For how much he was shutting down the expansions of Idra throughout that game, only 3 buildings raised seems insane. And then resources. Yeah, this is just Idra's inability to hold on to that 3rd base and that 4th base for really any length of time. Gas mined is almost 2-to-1 for Rhett. Minerals mined is 10,000 more, and total spent is about 20,000 overall more. So this is, you can afford to lose this if your resources tab looks like this. So great job from 2 legends. Very, very interesting game for sure. Really fun to cast, too. Yeah, really, really fun stuff. All right, cool. Well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.